Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have a freshly finished sketchbook here to show you. I'm going to talk about what's inside, but I'll first start off with what brand this sketchbook is. I get a lot of people asking me about this one in particular because it showed up in a few videos. So on the back it just says Field Artist here. That's basically all I know about it. And honestly, I would not recommend this for watercolor. If you want to use it just for gouache, or if you want to use it for just drawing in or something like that, by all means go for it. It's really it's nicely made in terms of the nice faux leather finish. I like the little bookmark, and it's held together fairly well, but I just find that the paper is inconsistent, just for my standards, and I feel like if you were more of a beginner, the paper would be frustrating, and I feel like if you're more advanced and you know what watercolor should be doing, it's also going to be frustrating. So some pages worked great. Some pages had sort of a resisting quality to them it's just annoying. It's annoying when your paper fights you, even in a sketchbook. I also find that layering doesn't work very well with watercolor in this sketchbook, so I mostly used it as a single layer sort of idea zone. So I didn't do a lot of refined or finished pieces in here, and I'll point out a few of my gripes with this sketchbook along the way, but it was a gift. I did want to use it. I did have fun using it. I just won't be buying this brand again. That's all. So this sticker on the front is by my friend in BC who does wonderful little stickers. You can find them at Crowloft on Instagram, and I think on DeviantArt she goes by Paragear, as in peregrine mixed with Gyrfalcon, however you want to say it. Anyway, she's great. I love this sticker, a little blue dragon guy. And this sketchbook I worked on from November 9th to January 22nd, so crossing over the new year, and generally not a very long time. I just kind of tried to blow through this one because I have so many watercolor sketchbooks waiting around that I can't wait to use, so. This first page here was done with one of my paints from Beam Paints. It's this one here. It's called Blueberry Mountain, I believe. And they sent it as a sample, and it's so nice, and this company is really great. It's an indigenous handmade watercolor company, and they do all of their packaging without any plastic, so it's great. This is waxed linen or waxed cotton. Yeah, and their palettes are made with wood. It's really nice. I like their stuff. While I was working on this sketchbook, I went on a trip to Boston. Mostly I spent most of my time in New Hampshire, a little bit in Maine, but they're all very close together. This is actually the only painting that I did, which is, I did it on the last day I was there, waiting to catch my flight home. So I just did that with, I think it was one of those Uli water-based brushes, so I blocked it out, and then while I was on the plane with the free little cup of water they give you, I smudged out some of the colors. So it looks a bit weird because it's two values and it's a bit messy, but yeah, these are the tails of the planes, and this is Boston in the background. Here was where I started playing around with the paper again, and you can see I don't know if you can see it, but there's sort of this weird frayed edge, where usually if you're doing watercolor you'd get a very clean, crisp edge. So that's the paper doing it. It's not the watercolor. And I mean, if you like that look, power to you, but I don't. So this is where the frustration began. This next page here I did with some water-based markers, so brush markers. And the inks actually work a bit better, so you know what, maybe this would be a good sketchbook for inks, but it's the paint that really had problem with it. I don't know why. Here are just some watercolor blobs. You can see sometimes it's really nice. This is super crisp, it's awesome. But this one here is a bit wonky. and this little bit here and here. But, you know, I played around with it. This sketchbook I did a lot of like botanical drawings. These are done with paint markers. Obviously the paint markers work great because they're just like really opaque pigment. These are just some stickers. This page here was like, it was all like crinkled and it came like that, so I didn't want to use it for anything. There was like a crease down the middle from where the little book marker was. So I just put stickers on there. This is one that I did for the channel, so you can see the real-time footage of this one. This is a color rough that I did for a Christmas present for my parents. They have a dog, so I painted her as a puppy, and then my partner painted her as a grown-up adult dog, and we gave them like a two-set painting gift. So it was pretty fun. I did her in blue with an orange background, and then the adult one was a blue background with orange dog. Just some little swatches, just for fun. And here are some like cave painting style sketches, horses. This paint here with the insane, like, I don't even know if this counts as granulation, but the sort of flecked quality, that is the Core Watercolors transparent iron oxide, I believe. It behaves like this, it looks like this. It's very, very, very earthy, like the earthiest earth pigment that ever earthed. Anyway, I like painting these sort of style horses, and here's a larger one. They're really fun, but yeah, these are just one layer of watercolor, maybe two. You can see where I've gone back in darker, but then the rest of it wasn't dry, so it like bled in here. So yeah, I guess the sketchbook really helped me like push forward on some wet techniques and single layer techniques and stuff. It's really fun. You know, it's not the sort of thing I've ever done for my finished work. I feel like there's this perception that finished work has to take a really long time, whereas sketches can be quick, but actually, you know, I'd like to get to a point where my finished stuff is my quick stuff too, you know? There are some artists like that, both Lauren and Jillian Tamaki, I think, are really good examples of that. Like, they just draw, and they don't draw it all in the first go, of course. Like, they'll do multiple iterations and then pick the best ones, and they're also combining stuff in Photoshop afterwards. It's very smart. It's a very smart process. This is a bison, and I wanted to do a better painting of this. This was sort of a test, and I like some of the stuff that's happening here with the watercolors, but my sepia paint that I have, it just, I don't know. I can't tell if it's the paper or if it's the sepia or if it's both, but I think my sepia paint has a lot of gum arabic content, so you can see like this sort of, I don't know, filmy look to it. It's just me being picky. But yeah, I like this orangey reddy stuff in here. That's some iron oxide, I think, maybe a little bit of burnt sienna too, just smooshing it all together. And then I have this washi tape that I really like. I've been using it for packaging some of my Etsy orders, but I was just inspired by it to do some more plants. So these are all just one layer of watercolor, really, really fast, like little blobs for flowers. And honestly, it's so fun, it's so relaxing. I like to watch YouTube videos and draw quick little silly plants. So there's a bunch of these in here. At this point, I was like starting to think like, oh, maybe I can do simplified versions of like actual plants, like referenced from actual plants, so that they're a specific species, right? Because these ones are just kind of like random, and I'm just you know, pulling them out of my brain. But I think next up here, yeah, next up I started actually referencing dandelions and doing like very specifically, these are dandelions, and that was fun too. I like this one. These are some Western wood lilies, which I actually have to paint for a freelance gig, so these are sort of some color studies. And here are some character designs that I made for a small like comic series. I've been posting it on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Thoughts Up North on both. Yeah, I haven't done a new page yet. I've been writing like the script for it, but it's like a little comic about basically a sensitive, depressive diplodocus named Herb and his strong but silent type friend Tucker. So Tucker starts out, they both start out as kids. Herb doesn't really change much when he turns into adult. Like, you know people like that who just like kind of look 12 for the rest of their life. That's Herb. And then Tucker grows up, and of course he's like a big T-Rex. He's more of a Gorgosaurus. That's just me being picky with like my, I work at a dinosaur museum, but he's more of a Gorgosaurus, but he's just like an average Tyrannosaur. Anyway, so he's like this little orange blob, and then he grows up, and then he's a dinosaur. He's not just a blob. And then Herb's gonna stay pretty much the same. But the first bit of the comic will be them as kids, and then it'll go on to be them as adult dinosaur cartoon characters. And I don't know, I think they're just gonna like, talk about things that bug them, or like, I don't know, express their feelings, which are basically just my feelings. Anyway, I think it'll be fun, but working on that in the background. Maybe I'll do a zine of it one day when I have like more content. And then these are just some more flowers. This page in particular did not like me. You can see sort of the edges here. You can see that there's like a crease in it. You can see also that the binding is like coming apart. So yeah, as far as sketchbooks go, this one's fine, but if you're gonna spend money on it, get a Moleskine or get the Pentalic Aqua Journal. Just do that instead. Oh, this one turned out good actually, because one, the paper didn't fight me, and two, sort of my wet technique practices really paid off. So I made bagels. I haven't made them in a while, but I made a dozen last weekend, and they turned out great. And this is what they look like. So I like making bagels, and I like that they get these really like irregular swirls on them, because you have to like twist them and put them together in a circle by yourself, right? And not a machine doing it. So they all look pretty unique. And they're my special bagel children, and they're tasty. I like my new favorite combination is, so I put rosemary in the bagels, so they're rosemary bagels, and because they're Montreal style bagels, they have honey in them, and they're boiled in honey water, so they're a little bit on the sweet side, and I find it goes really well if you toast them and then put strawberry cream cheese on it. So that's my secret. Try it out. This next page here are some more flowers. I like this one. I like how thin the stems are, and then I made these like red flowers, and some of them aren't open yet. Yeah, they're just fun to sit here and do this. They're pretty mindless too, so I don't have to like spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm gonna paint. I can just go in there. And of course I'm using like a big brush for these, so it's like one of these, and then this is just bloop, just like that. It's great. Oh, some unicorns. I like how the big heart on the butt like bled out because it was still wet. It's cute. Oh, and then some tulips. I got in the past couple days just like really into painting these tulips. So there's gonna be some in my next sketchbook tour as well. Because they're so fun, they're so pretty. I used to live in Ottawa, and they have the Tulip Festival there, which is a collaboration between Canada and the Netherlands. They send tulips every year, and they set them up in a park, and there's markets and there's events, and it was so nice. So this reminds me of the Tulip Festival in Ottawa. So I finished it 2 days ago on the 22nd. I'm filming this on the 24th, and it'll go up on the 26th, something like that. And then of course this is the real-time accordion fold mountain study that I did previously. It was kind of weird because like this page actually goes over here, but it's like glued partway up, so you can't like use that whole page. Anyway, it's a a sketchbook with some quirks, I guess. But I still had fun filling it, and it was fun, you know, to let go and just make a quick, messy sketchbook full of dumb flowers. It's your sketchbook. You can do what you want. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!